All right, everyone, I was in Vegas a little while ago. Wasn't really there to play, but I did manage to get one session in here at the Aria. First hand, I looked down at Queen 10 9 8, single suited in middle position. There's an early position raise at 10. I call, and there are two other callers, so we're going four ways to a flop. Well, comes 8 7 3 with two hearts. Checks over to me. I bet 30, and there are two callers, so we're going three ways to a turn. Turn brings a 7 of diamonds, bringing in the backdoor flush draw. Checks to me, and I decide to continue telling the story and keep the heat on and bet 110, and both my opponents fold, so we take it down. Next hand dealt, I look down at 10 10 2 2 rainbow in middle position. I limp. There are four other callers, and we're going five ways to a flop. Flop comes King King 10 rainbow, checks to me, and I believe when you have an under full house, you're never super comfortable, but I believe the best way to play it is just to play it very aggressive and hope your opponents either fold or they brick. So I bet 25, and there's one late position caller, so we're going heads up to a turn. Turn brings a 6, and here's the problem with under full houses is you really never know what card you want on the turn. I mean, with the exception of a 10, I obviously don't know if he filled up or not, but, I should still have the best hand here. So I bet 60 and my opponent calls. So we're still going heads up to a river. River brings an ace, so I decide to slow down and check, and my opponent's thinking about what to do, and he bets 100, and not really great. I guess in the moment, I ended up tanking for probably about 30 seconds. And I guess I convinced myself that there was a possibility that he had King, Queen, Jack, which, is pretty much the only hand I beat. So I eventually made the call, and my opponent turned over his hand, and he has King, Jack, 8, 6. So he actually folded up on the turn and had me drawing to one out. So he's going to take it down here. Here I look down at Jack, Jack, 10, 7, double suited in early position. Folds to me, I open to 15, and there are two callers. So we're going three ways to a flop. Flop comes King 5 3 with two clubs. I check. Next player bets 40. One caller to me, and I fold. Here I look down at Ace King Jack 5, single suited in the big blind. There are four limpers over to the small blind who calls. I also call, and we're going six ways to a flop. Flop comes Ace Jack 3 rainbow. Checks to me. I bet 20, and there are two callers, so we're going three ways to a turn. Turn brings a queen. I check. Middle position player checks over to the cutoff who bets 60. And now there's a lot of combos that beat me. King Queen 10, Ace King 10, Ace King Queen. And so for those reasons, I decide to fold. Here look down at Ace Queen Jack 5, double suited in the cutoff. There's an early position limp. I make it 20, and there are three callers. So we're going four ways to a flop. Flop comes 9 8 4 with two hearts. Checks to the big blind who bets 80. Folds to me, and here it's just too good of a hand to fold, and he's been kind of tilted anyway, so I just go with it and push. Folds back to him, and he quickly makes the call. So we're going heads up to a run out. Turn brings in the front door flush with a king of hearts. River doesn't change the fact that we have the nuts with another heart and a two of hearts. And I turn over my hand, obviously knowing we're good, and my opponent mucks. So good time for a double up here. Here look down at Ace King 10 2 double suited on the button. There's a couple limpers to me. I make it 25, and there are three callers. So we're going four ways to a flop. Flop comes Ace Queen 4 rainbow. Checks to me. I bet 65, and everyone folds. So we take it down. Here look down at Ace King 8 6 double suited under the gun in a straddled pot. I limp. Couple other limpers over to the straddler who makes it 55. Back over to me. So the straddler in this hand just lost a couple big pots. He also keeps asking the floor person about his potential seat in the 5-5 rock game, which is a significantly bigger game than this one. So I didn't really plan on back raising with this hand when I limped, but I just kind of went with a read and 3-bet to 195. Folds back over to him, and he makes the call. So we're going heads up to a flop. Flop comes 10 6 3 with two diamonds. My opponent checks to me. He only has about $115 left, so not really a great flop for this hand, but maybe I can potentially get him to fold. So I put him all in, and he quickly makes the call. So we're going heads up to a run out. Turn brings a 4, so no help to me. River brings an ace, so now improving us to two pair. I turn over my hand, and my opponent mucks. So not really sure if my pair of sixes would have taken it down prior to the river, but happy to take this one down. Here look down at King 10 9 4 double suited on the button. Folds to the cutoff who opens a 15. I call. Then over to the big blind who makes it 65. Cutoff calls, and it's not really a great hand here, but being on the button, I also decide to call. So we're going three ways to a flop. I've had a lot of people asking me if I was going to do any kind of results video, and didn't want to dedicate an entire video to it, but definitely wanted to be as transparent as possible. So these are my results since I've started on the vlogs last year. And definitely wanted to thank everyone out there. I've received a lot of insightful feedback that I've really tried hard to implement into my game. And, you know, I've been able to grow from the beginning of the vlog where I was basically buying in almost close to the minimum. You know, I was playing much shorter sessions to now, you know, I'm able to buy in a little bit deeper, play a little bit longer. I've actually been able to increase my hourly quite a bit, a little bit over $100 hourly this year. So, you know, definitely wanted to thank everyone for helping me grow my game. And, you know, I definitely wanted to be able to do the same thing for a lot of you out there as well. I believe the best way to do that is to be a part of a community of players with whom you can discuss hands with, share poker room info, and talk about general strategy among other things. So let's say you end up playing your first PLO session and you want to know if you made the right play or not. We'll have a community where I'll be checking on a daily basis and giving my thoughts, and you'll be learning from other players too. I'm going to answer all the questions in there, but I'm also going to take the best and most relevant ones, and I'm going to answer them in a monthly live stream. If that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around to the end and I'll have more details for you. Flop comes 7-2-2 rainbow. Big blind bets 110 over to the cutoff who makes the call, and I fold. Here look down at ace queen 10-5 double suited in the big blind. There are a couple limpers to me. I make it 20 and only the small blind calls, so we're going heads up to a flop. Flop comes king jack 3 with 2 clubs. Small blind checks to me. I bet 35 and he quickly folds, so we take it down. Here look down at ace king queen 10 single suited in middle position. There are a couple early position limpers. I make it 25 and both limpers call, so we're going 3 ways to a flop. Flop comes 8-4-4 with 2 clubs. Checks to me. I bet 35 and only the player to my right calls, so we're going heads up to a turn. Turn brings a 3 and my opponent checks to me again. I decide to slow down here and check back, so still heads up to a river. River brings another 4 and my opponent checks me again, and I might have the best hand, but I definitely want to put some pressure on potential low pocket pairs that he might have. So I bet 55 and my opponent thinks a bit and folds, so we take it down. Here look down at ace jack 10-8 single suited in the hijack. There are a couple early position limpers. I make it 25 and there are 3 callers, so we're going 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes ace queen 6 with 2 spades. Checks to the player to my right who only has $25 left. He puts it all in the middle. I make the call and both the other opponents fold, so we're going heads up to a run out. Turn brings a 2. River brings a 7, so no help to us. I sheepishly turn over my hand and my opponent turns over his. He has king queen 9-4 with nut spades, and we're going to take it down here. Here look down at ace king jack 9 single suited in middle position. Player to my right limps. I make it 20 and there are 4 callers, so we're going 5 ways to a flop. Flop comes ace queen 10 with 2 spades. Checks to me, and despite the fact that I don't have any spades, I bet 100 and only one of the early position players calls, so we're going heads up to a turn. Turn brings a jack of hearts, bringing in the backdoor flush draw. My opponent checks to me again, and here I just have to keep the pressure on now that there's 2 flush draws that I don't have. I bet 300 and my opponent goes well into the tank, probably for over a minute, and eventually folds, so we take it down. I played a little while longer after the previous hand. I was in town with family, so I decided to rack up after 4 hours. Alright guys, so as far as the community chat goes, we're calling it the PLO posse. It's going to be a lot of fun. Besides myself, we have a couple other very experienced PLO players. I mentioned Zepha Poker last week. A lot of you reached out to me and told me you really enjoyed his content, so that's awesome. We also are going to have Poker Jesus. You've probably seen some of his content. If not, I'm going to link it down below. He is out of the Tampa area. He plays live poker, but unfortunately his casino doesn't allow filming, so he kind of vlogs a lot of his online sessions. So I'll link that below. So to join the PLO posse, you're going to click the link down in the description below. That's a Patreon page, and that's going to give you access to a Discord chat. As I mentioned, we're going to cover many different topics, and I'm going to pick the best and most relevant questions to answer in a monthly live stream. For all of that, I'm starting it out at a very low and reasonable price of $29 a month. That will be in effect through Monday. If you join at that price, that will be your price moving forward as well. And for those of you who join by Friday, the ones who are really looking to take their game to the next level, I'm going to call each of you for a 30-minute one-on-one just so I can really figure out where you are in your game and also get to know you as well. Those of you guys still on the fence about it, I'm also offering a 30-day money-back, no questions asked guarantee. So if you try out the PLO posse, you decide for whatever reason it's not a right fit for you, just let me know and I'm going to refund your money ASAP. After Monday, the price will be increasing to $49 a month, so definitely get in now while it's under $1 a day. Definitely excited to work with a lot of you. I know I've already talked to a bunch of people who are also going to be in Vegas next month, so definitely excited to meet a lot of you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. As far as the session went, I was in for 500, out for 1282, so profit of 782. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.